Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
Welcome to the Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, December the 31st. Wow, hard to believe we're closing out 2011. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and we're going to close it out on a mild note, and then it's going to turn cold. All right, here's the Skycam network this morning from Alpha, and there's a look at the shot off Birmingham. Beautiful clear sky. Looks like we're going to see a lot of sunshine today for the last day of the year. A little bit of fog in places, and you can see at Fayette, not real thick, but certainly a concern if you're heading out early this morning. We do have a little weak front across the area, but and that separates more a little temperature change area than anything else. Hardly any clouds to speak of with that particular front. High pressure going to be the main feature affecting us for today. In the upper atmosphere, we have a little trough that has gone by. You can see stretching along the Appalachians. But the big news is the big trough that is coming in on the Rockies, and that is going to settle into the central part of the country and provide us some really cold air for at least a few days. Mild across the country right now. As you can see, the red line is the 32-degree line, and not a lot of the country below 32 degrees, and that's okay with me. I don't mind mild at all. Across central Alabama, you can see that difference with the 50s down along the southeastern area, and then across the rest of central and north Alabama, generally in the 30s for the most part, so a little bit cooler than I was expecting this morning, but that's all right. We'll warm up nicely today, reaching the mid and upper 60s for most locations. QPF-wise, not forecasting a lot of rain with the front. I've been calling it mostly dry, and I think it's still going to be that way. Yes, we're going to see clouds. Yes, there may be an isolated patch of isolated shower or some patchy light rain, but as far as amounts, you can see that they really are going to be quite light. The morning 06Z GFS model run, and there's the high pressure system over the southeastern U.S., and that is going to keep us in plenty of sunshine for today. Maybe a few passing cirrus clouds from time to time. The trough, as we say, digs in, and digs in across the eastern half of the country, and that is ushering in some colder air. The front moves through on New Year's Day. And the GFS showing the front at 18Z around, well, it's kind of hard to exactly put in a position there, but looks like it's almost through the state of Alabama at the time of this. And the European doing very much the same, both of them forecasting very light amounts of precipitation. By the time we get to Monday, the cold air is just blasting in here. You can see the 540 thickness line digging down to about Montgomery. So indeed, you're going to see a rather chilly day on the 2nd and then again on the 3rd. The trough pretty much digs across the eastern coast of the U.S. and heads out into the Atlantic. But of course, as another trough develops up there just to the west of the Great Lakes, that does more or less interrupt the northwesterly flow, the strong northwesterly flow, I might say. And so we do see the beginnings of a warm-up in the temperatures, and of course the thicknesses. You see the 540 line has pulled back to the north and is actually in the vicinity of Chattanooga. A little bit of difference with between the GFS and the European. European is still a little bit colder. You can see the 540 line basically in the vicinity of Birmingham. So not a lot of difference between the two models, but certainly just a little bit. But I do think the morning of the 3rd is going to be another very chilly morning with a hard freeze. The main big trough is out in the Atlantic. We see another kind of reinforcing shot there coming across the Great Lakes, and then that is Wednesday. We head out into Thursday, and now we're beginning to come under the ridge as the ridge is beginning to advance our way. So, as we've noted already, the cold spell is not going to be a long-lived thing. Although, we're not going to just warm up dramatically and get as mild as we are for today. By Friday the 6th, we're deeply under the ridge, and that is keeping us pretty much high and dry. And then, as you can see, with the trough developing out over the western part of the country, by Saturday, a week from today, we're back into southwesterly flow. Now, I don't think with this southwesterly flow, we're going to definitely be, back to the temperatures we are today, but certainly we'll be out of the really frigid stuff. And because of the southwesterly flow, of course, any fronts that are in the vicinity and any moisture coming out of the Pacific could help to create some rain possibilities. But at the moment, I think those possibilities are somewhat small for us. Now, if we extend out and we're going to just edge into voodoo here, you can see that on the Sunday, the 8th, we're still under a southwesterly flow. So that means at least the weekend of relatively mild and slightly above values that are typical for this time of year for early January. Now, advancing further into voodoo country, there's definitely a rain event in the forecast if you, of course, believe the GFS. But there's a nice little closed low and trough coming across Texas. That would certainly produce a rain event around the 11th. And then we still stay, as you can see, the general trend here on the 15th, we still stay in a southwesterly flow. So obviously, once again, the trend is that we're not seeing any kind of significant amplitude to the flow that would indeed bring us any particular cold spells. Well, thanks for staying tuned to the Weather Extreme video. I expect to have the next one posted Sunday morning. First of 2012. Wow. If you're local to us here in the Birmingham, Central Alabama area, be sure to catch the weather on ABC 3340 at 6 and 10 tonight. We'll update you on the latest as how that front is coming through. In the meantime, I hope that you have a wonderful day and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.